this cold Monday. How's
Sorry.
it going? Why are you like that?
You were in the middle of talking to me.
You can't just
Isn't
expect
she always, though?
like his eyes go really big and then he's like, and that's your cue.
Well, I pointed. I did that.
Did he point?
He
Did he?
did.
I didn't see it.
I'm only doing 5,000 things at that one moment.
You kind of sound like a bitch right now. And
I-
I thought we
I-
had this discussion.
I have the
where you were going to
ability.
stop doing that.
I have the ability now to like where I just need that half a second. As
That
where a
half
couple
second.
weeks ago, it was like I don't know. I'm out for I'm out for half of the show because I'm doing computer stuff. I don't need that now, but
I guess. Whatever.
that point.
Acting like a baby. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
That was convincing.
Right? Like, what the hell is he talking about?
What do you? I know that I'm already being difficult by saying this, but what do you consider a good weekend?
Did you, I don't know, laugh at all this weekend? Or were you grumbly? Because you were pretty cranky Friday.
I was, and I'm still cranky today.
Okay, anyway, Cody, how was your weekend? We'll go to you.
My weekend was good.
Oh, that's good. What'd you do?
Not a lot.
I
Which is
support
why
that.
It was good,
I support that.
honestly. I just, stayed home and watched movies.
Did you see any good movies?
I can't really remember what movies I watched.
I haven't found a good movie recently. I'm kind of disappointed. There's like nothing good on.
I finished Harry Potter.
Ugh.
I was really mad about the ending.
Why?
I don't know what it is. Don't spoil it. I'm never gonna watch it.
Yeah, I was gonna say if no one's not, if you are the 1% that doesn't know how it ends, then like just cover your ears for half a second. But he should have died. Is my thing. Like because I was told this entire time that Harry dies. Like yeah, he dies, but then he comes right back. Like he should have it should have been dead, and then
Like, for
he's
good?
gone. Yeah.
I guess.
Like I just think that would have been done better.
I don't think it would have been wrong or like would have done anything to affect it. Did you just turn that off?
I turned it down.
Dude, it's like 20 degrees in here.
Dude, I'm right here sitting by it.
It was supposed to be aimed at me.
Dying.
I don't know. I guess
Is my
Harry could
mic
die.
on?
Yeah.
It is? Okay, because I
Yeah,
don't hear
I can
myself
hear
at all.
Oh, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. Usually I can hear myself through it.
Do you know what I wish they would have changed?
Huh.
If Harry and Hermione had gotten together and
They
not
should have
Ron's
banged.
stupid little. Yeah.
Why?
Because
I don't
I
know,
feel
'cause
like they
everyone
were a
thought it was
better
coming.
fit.
Yeah, but that's what I don't like about it. Like, but here's another thing I hated about it. At the end, they're all older and they're all like married to the same people that they were with. Like,
Yep.
come on, you got together when you were like 20. No one's together with the same person. Okay, well,
Well,
yeah.
seriously, are you done?
You know what I'm saying, though.
Are you done?
Like the same.
I do.
Because at that point, I think it's like kind of college for them. I think. I don't know. I don't know when Harry ever graduated.
also-
by
I
the
don't
way,
think that
So are
he
you.
didn't graduate in this story.
huh?
He didn't graduate in this story.
Yeah, but
He didn't even
was,
fucking graduate.
He was
does
in there
all
for
this
like
shit.
fucking 8 years.
He does all this shit for the school
Okay,
and he
but you
doesn't
need
even
to
graduate.
think back. He left after Dumbledore died. He never went back to school.
Right, but I don't know like how.
Didn't you? You never. So there's another book, The Cursed Child, that describes.
Okay, I don't want to go into it. I just want to say, how long was he supposed to be there?
like
Wait,
8 full years.
Dumbledore died?
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Cody's world is just ruined.
Dumbledore dies like in the 6th or 7th.
Oh,
The
yeah, I don't
fifth.
think I got past the third one. I got
Sixth
bored.
book. You're right. Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know. It's the 6th book.
But point. So he was supposed to be there for like 8 years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, because there again.
Wait. How do you know you're supposed to be there for it? You just agreed with him.
Because I've read the whole thing. I know. Why are people texting
So
me?
he did all this shit for the school and they didn't even just like give him a mercy pass?
No.
I mean, they never actually even showed a graduation, so I don't know who graduated. I don't. My point completely is the fact that by the time the end of the movie is, they're all like full-grown adults.
Yeah.
And
Because
like,
it's supposed to be like 20 years after the.
no. I mean, by the start of part 2, the Deathly Hallows, the last movie,
Yeah.
they're like adults.
And they were supposed to be in school, but they didn't
Right.
go to school.
But like, how old were they supposed to be? Because this is my whole thing: is they all got together with their significant others early on in the movies,
They were so
Like
you're right.
Hermione and Ron were like always. That fucking doesn't happen. That happens like 1 in a million, and like that's what annoyed me. It's like every single one of them.
Okay.
Think about it.
Well, no, I don't have to because
Like
I've read the
Neville
book after
and
him.
Luna and blah 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 and blah blah. All these people they paired off with when they were like 12, they're still together with when they're like 40.
Well,
Hey,
maybe the
come on.
wizarding world is completely different from the Muggle world. Did you ever think of that one?
That was some of the gayest shit that I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Well, okay, let's talk about how none of those kids ever got pregnant at wizard school.
They have magic. You know how easy an abortion is?
Yeah, you can just zap that out of you.
You
For
just
real.
zap it out of you.
Fetus, delete us.
I'm just saying, it really, really annoyed me. That's all. But on the other turn, you're right. There is like nothing good, like movies wise.
There's not. I'm going to be thinking about fetus deletus the rest of the day. I want you to know
Hey, have you
that.
guys
You
seen-
probably should have thought of that 15 years ago.
Yeah.
She's going to kick your ass.
Have you guys seen Bird Box yet?
Yes.
No.
What did you think of it? Did you like it?
I
See, I really liked it.
liked it. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't the scary. Like, everybody kept
No.
talking about, oh, I did not find it that scary. I did. I
No.
found it intense.
I thought it was, I don't know if I'd even say intense, but it was interesting enough to hold my attention. But it
watched-
wasn't scary.
Because, we had no heat this weekend. I binge watched, it's called You on Netflix.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Oh yeah, this Last Chance You or
No, it's just You.
oh, then I don't know what you're talking about. Then.
So, well, and I didn't know what it was until I started watching it. And basically, this guy he owns a bookstore, and this girl comes in, and he's automatically enthralled with her, and he starts stalking her. Like, he breaks into her apartment and takes her stuff. And that's what it's about. There's like 9 or 10 episodes. And through the whole thing, it's completely creepy. Because he's like in her closet, he's under her bed, he videotapes her.
Just jerking off.
He is. And it's like full frontal. I mean, it's really. But it talks about how.
I'll be watching that.
Exactly. My issue is that through the whole thing, she dies. Like, it's not even. And apparently, she's not the first person that he's ever done this to.
It sounds like a stand-up guy.
So here's my issue, and this is why
no.
I wanted to talk. There is, and it's a Facebook group,
Oh no.
why we love the show You and we want to be in that relationship.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
People are really into this guy.
Like, if I find out that you stole my panties and you killed my family and then you eventually kill me, we're not going to be in a relationship.
Why?
Did you?
What was she wearing? Was she asking for it?
You know.
I have an
I
issue
just
with
feel
creepy
like-
guys like that.
No, but the thing is,
Have you
like,
seen your husband? He's a creepy looking dude.
here's the thing: women are like that, though.
They
I
are.
am not.
A lot of them are.
I-
And no, you totally are. You even admit like you're needy and you want attention.
I'm Tinkerbell.
How much more attention do you need? Like, he's under your bed jerking off. Like, that's all the attention you can want right there. That's
I
all
mean,
I'm saying.
look,
Like,
and I'm not saying like all women. Like my wife has a separate life. She probably has like another family somewhere. Like she goes and does stuff. It doesn't include me. I do stuff that doesn't include her. It enriches our relationship.
I go out without
but,
my husband.
But
I
a
am
lot
just
of women
amazed.
don't want to. Like
Which is
they're so.
weird.
And so like that kind of relationship, I think they would want it in some weird manner.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know. I don't get it. I don't understand wanting to be with anyone that much or knowing that they're that close to you. But there is so many
I think that if
women
they
that
don't
are like that.
break into your apartment and steal your panties, they don't love you. That's what I'm going with.
But see, I don't think Cody's ever had somebody like that. I mean,
A
we
stalker?
Have you ever had a stalker?
Yes.
Have you?
I have. Now, not that bad. Like, they never broke into my house, but
That you know of?
eh,
I mean, Jay
it'd
and
be
I know
hard.
a stalker.
It'd be difficult to break into my house.
Yeah, and the whole stalker thing was funny to me.
That's 'cause
I mean,
you-
it wasn't me that was being stalked, so
Those are the best.
Well,
Yeah,
I
then
mean,
it's funny.
Started with you, but
Yeah, and that's the other thing too.
But you kind of like encouraged it to go to the other guy.
And that's the whole thing. Like you have to learn how to deflect and roll. You pivot.
You're such a dick. No, it's seriously, this chick started in on Jay, like looking up his bank account. And instead, because she worked at the bank.
She got in your bank account?
Yeah.
She worked at a bank.
Oh, shit.
Like, and she became my friend so she could. And I was like, no, he's not. Like, we're together. Have you met his cousin, though? He thinks we're joking. We're not. We introduced her to his cousin.
Wait, which cousin?
I'm not going to mention names.
But, I mean, it was to the point
Is it
where...
the one I know?
No.
Ah, damn.
But, like, she would show up at their grandparents' house, and...
That's weird.
My grandma would be like, so, did you know that she was over there? And I'm like, oh, fuck.
But that's not even the best part. And you're not explaining why I deflected and rolled in this. Because typically I just would have shut it down. I would have shut it down. But I was like 18. I wanted booze. I wanted weed.
That's why we kept her around.
And I wanted money. So I
And
was
it
like,
worked.
okay, well, she's obsessed with my cousin. So, hey, Derek, let's party.
You said his name.
No, I wasn't going to say the other name.
Oh.
I don't care about saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Let's party. Hey, call her up. Dude, you should bring some alcohol. Derek's going to be at this party.
He's completely drunk.
By the
You
way-
might get some.
At the time, too. It's like, by the way, I need a pack of smokes. Can you bring that when you're on your way?
Should do it.
Yeah. She'd like show up with weed, alcohol, and smokes. Fuck yeah, I'm going to use that to my
See what the
advantage.
best part
Absolutely,
is?
I agree.
She lives like 4 houses away from him now.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I've got a lot of bad neighbors. My next door neighbor is a chick that was obsessed with me all through high school.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome because, like, she's one of those people that, like, you almost feel bad for her van when she gets in it. You know what I mean? Like I really think the van should be on top of you.
You're such a dick.
And it's a van. Like, if it was a small sports car, okay, but no, like, she is half of her van.
Oh, God.
You watch it when she gets in, and it's like the whole thing, like, almost does a 90-degree tilt.
Capsizes.
And she's always been that way.
Poop hands?
Not who?
Poo hands.
Who's that?
The other day, she pulled money out of her.
Oh no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. I don't
What?
know if you know who it is.
I thought you were talking about poo hands, and I was like, dude, you need to get away from that.
She
Poo
was
hands. I got
just some person. We're not going into the story.
He doesn't want to
It's a-
talk about it. It's bad.
It was a
wanna know.
younger classman in high school, Mexican descent. I don't know if you know who she is.
I tried to stay away from the younger ones.
I try to stay away from the Mexicans.
She was friends with my wife, and at the time, my girlfriend, and
I made out with all those people. There. Oh, shit.
yeah, good job.
We have a
Someone's
call,
calling to
and
let us know.
Tanya's not ready.
Where's the thingy?
Jesus. I had a kid.
Hello, and thank you for calling. This is Revolution Radio.
Yes, this is Jason. I'm calling in. Jay told me to call in.
That's right. You were going to call in today. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Great. So, what you been doing today?
Just relaxing, doing some work, working on a book. What have you guys been doing?
Nothing, because we're really lame.
We are live, by the way, Jason.
Sorry.
I know I can tell you guys are live. Dude, I heard you guys talking about graduating or something. That's the last thing I heard. I had to download the app, and I'm like, dude, shots are fun. Like, this girl, dude, please tell me this dude didn't set me up in some prank, man, because I'm like, where's she going with this? I'm like, where are we going? That's why I'm like, dude, I have no idea where this is going right now.
You never know what's going to come out of my mouth. Let's be honest. I'm very inappropriate.
But
so
we
don't
always
feel
know
bad.
what's going to go in there.
Yeah, you know what I swallow. So how's it going?
Good. What do you guys, where you guys at, man? You guys are in Kansas?
Sadly, yeah. Kansas sucks.
What do you guys do in Kansas?
Watch cows smoke weed. That's about it.
Wait, like comma or together?
Yeah, we
Like,
watch
watching
cows smoke
smoking
weed.
Oh, man.
So, man,
Hold on, I think I lost.
are you still there?
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you guys.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Man, I gotta ask you about the short film that you that you worked on that's on Amazon Prime, Malign.
Right? Correct, sir.
So was that for like a festival, or was that just kind of a passion project?
Well, it's kind of funny. It was shot to teach my daughter a lesson. It's an expensive lesson, to say the least. My daughter Ida is taking passion up, kind of following in my footsteps. I never kind of pushed her that route. So ideally, it was shot to show her what it takes to make a project, and it was a challenge. You know, to tell a story in 6 minutes, it's a challenge. It is still currently on the film circuit, but I ended up signing a distribution deal and a licensing deal with Acclaim Video with Mark there out of the United Kingdom. So now everything's done through him. He puts on the festival, which is great because we have a whole bunch of other projects coming down the pipeline. We're waiting on some things that we've already shot and are currently in post-production. So something that basically was a lesson in life turned into something much bigger than what it really was supposed to be.
I was like, thank God that you said that. You explained a little bit more, because I was like, were you trying to tell your daughter if she messes up that she's gonna get shot?
Dude, I was really concerned.
Yeah, no, right? So, I mean, I knew I was getting some backlash about that from an audience, but for some reason, like, I had this in my head for like 6 years, man. I'm like, and that's why I used my own daughter. My own daughter was in this film.
Yeah, we saw.
I don't think anyone's gonna say, "Hey, Jason, take my kid, shoot him, and throw him in a river." You know what I mean? That's just not how life works.
I was
I needed to have
concerned, man.
her.
I mean,
But,
I know
yeah,
parents
I mean-
do some fucked up shit to teach their kids a lesson, but I was like, God.
Yeah,
I
that's
should
pretty
show that to
deep,
my
man.
kid. Be like, you see that? The next time you mouth off, your ass is getting shot.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good lesson, and like I'm excited, you know. So I wanted to show her that people think this stuff's glamorous, man, and is it glamorous? Only if you love to do it, like anything in life. So with that being said, you know, if you're pursuing this for money and for fame, you're better off, you know, going to a casting couch, and that's the easiest way to do it. Because it's a long road, man. It's a long road.
That's a lesson I want to teach my daughter.
Yeah. Hopefully not going to the casting couch, man. Hopefully not that route.
Oh, see, I'm
going down there, man, in Kansas, but not that casting couch.
Nah, he'd stick his wife on the casting couch.
He might know the president in the future. No, man.
Did she graduate though? I mean, is that what you guys talking about? Yeah.
Oh no. Look. So the whole entire movie was 6 minutes. I gotta
6
ask,
minutes, man.
how long did that take you to make?
Realistically, we shot it in one day. The post-production was the longest. It took roughly, I would say, about 5 days to edit and piece it together. And about 68 emails to be exact, minus one, so we'll call it 67. We'll call it 67 just to make it sound better. 67 emails out to my sound guy, another Mark I know out in Colorado who did the full score behind it. And that was it. My friend Adam Block, good dude. He's my sound engineer and my editor. I work very closely with him. And then we just pieced it together. Once you get a timeline and a picture lock, things start to come to play, but then you got to start fine-tuning things and tweaking things. And the idea was to shoot it very ambiguously. That's a big word. I can't spell it, but I can pronounce it barely. So the idea was to shoot it in that realm and let the viewers kind of take from it what they wanted. And, you know, like, is the guy really dead? Who knows? I don't know. Is he? Did she really do this? Is it all created in her mind? Did she really kill the kid? You know, so it was all shot, one, to have you feel something in 6 minutes, and two, to tell a completely ambiguous story where I would hope that we're smart enough as humans to be able to fill in the pieces around it. So you can kind of create your own story from it, really, if that's the way you interpret it.
Did you have an idea for what is actually happening in the film in your own head? Like, did you have a direction that you were wanting to convey?
I wrote it that way. Yeah, I wrote it. So, yeah, I had a full idea, completely 100% idea of what was happening the whole time.
So, without answering, because I know you probably don't want to ruin it for anyone who does watch it and has their own idea, let me just ask you this one. Was it in her head?
Did I don't know, was it? I mean, was it? I mean, ideally, I don't know. I I mean, that's a great question. But I'm just gonna answer a question with a question or a half-ass answer. I don't know. I mean, in my story that I have locked in my room, absolutely, there's an answer. But I'm gonna leave that up to all the viewers to decide. I know how I wrote it. I know exactly why it was written for a specific way. It's funny because the writing of it and the editing of it, like 50-something thousand times on paper to make it come to life. And then it's just for people who do really want to shoot this kind of stuff, like you think you have everything worked out in your head and you think it's all lined up until shit hits the fan and you're like, oh man, well, we forgot about this, or oh man, it's starting to rain, or oh, we're running out of light, or my daughter Ida, get in the lake, it's April, it's not that cold. Daddy, yes it is. No, listen, Ida, we are running out of day. Like, that's a funny scene. I'll tell a story about that. It's a funny scene. My daughter, she was like 7 at the time. And we convinced her we were going to drown her at first. A fake drown. But that's what we were going to show. And she's like, I'm like, Ida, there's a lake. It's cold. It's April. The snow lasted a long time last year. And I'm like, Ida, listen, I need you to do us a favor. She's like, well, I need you to get in this lake. She's like, Daddy. I said, no, Ida, listen to me for 1 second. Ida, you will make this film what it is, but I need you to fall in the lake, and we're going to shoot you now. And she's like, all right. So we go up there. I'm about 200 yards away, and we're using a drone shot. So you can capture everything in a drone. We have a side camera, a B camera, and the drone. So what happens? I get all the way back up there. I can hear her crying on the mic. I'm like, oh, man.
Oh,
so
no.
Tia's like, dude, come down here. So I run all the way back down. I'm like, Ida, please, for Daddy. You're going to make me look so good. Ida, please. So I get back up there. She's crying. I'm like, all right. I get back down. I said, Ida, listen, I'll give you $100, man. Just jump in the lake, please. So we get back up there. A fake gunshot goes off. Boom, I can run. As soon as she hits the lake, she panicked a little bit. But we were able to get enough footage to cut around it, and I think it made it more powerful, man. But at the end of the day, man, to ask a 7-year-old to go in some freezing water, that she has no idea what's in there, it says itself, man. So it worked out great, and it was exciting, and she loves it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, man, it was money well spent. It's an expensive lesson, but it's one that'll stay with her the rest of her life if this is really what she wants to do.
Yeah, no, that'd be a great memory too. To making a movie with your father, especially at such a young age, already knowing what direction you want to go. That's pretty cool too.
So why was it only 6 minutes? Because I felt like it could be longer.
It could have been. Great question. Absolutely. So the idea was to shoot a trilogy around it. I kind of want to give you a tease of what we're capable of doing as well. The idea was to make this into multiple sectors of mini episodes that make up one full episode. Was the route we're going to go with it. With that being said, the funny thing is my daughter she is way bigger than she was when she shot the film. So another lesson in life, when you use little kids, they grow. Like she got a size 6.5 shoe now. She went from first grade where she's like in a size 2, now she's in a size 6. She's wearing, adult balls. She's built like I am. Unfortunately, so she's damn near almost 5 feet tall, man, 90 pounds. She's a solid girl. That's why I got her in the pool swimming. Because I'm like, dude, you're going to be an Olympic athlete. You don't want to take this route. But no, I mean, that's the idea. So we could have added to it. That was the plan. And she grew so fast that I would have to rewrite some things around some stuff. But ideally, I didn't expect to go to prom. Somebody saw it. They said, dude, it's amazing. Would you be willing to sign us a licensing agreement? I said, absolutely. But it acted as another bridge for me because the guy, if you look at the poster, man, the guy who did the poster is phenomenal. It's this dude Stefan that I know.
Fucking creepy. Let's be honest.
It is good creepy though, man. There's good creepy and there's bad creepy.
Oh, I guess.
No,
so
I think
what's so bad creepy though? Like bad creepy.
It's a bloody teddy bear.
It's
I really
awesome,
thought
dude.
that, I thought it was going to go a different way when I saw the picture, and I was like, oh, okay, so everybody dies. I mean, they do.
Great.
I guess I just thought more kids would die.
Wishful thinking.
It's misleading, like Teddy Ruxpin. You don't think Teddy Ruxpin, when you were a kid, was creepy? You popped a disc in the back and a bear talked to you and told you a story. That's pretty creepy.
I always put AC/DC in mine.
All right, that will work too.
I agree, and I mean, also, I can think of worse bloody things to be on the cover of something. So, I'm in favor of the bear.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on if you're a guy or girl. Absolutely, maybe that.
Yeah, no. So, And was that artwork or was that
No, that's all
photograph?
freehanded. That is
it
freehanded.
really?
So this guy, yeah. So we layer. So he's in Belgium. He's asleep right now. I just got off the phone with him. He's also the new illustrator of my children's book. So I got a children's book in development right now. It'll be out or April of this coming. So, like I said, not only was this a great lesson, but I met a guy who is so talented. And it's crazy because from Belgium, I'm like, oh, this dude's not going to understand any English, so it's going to be damn near impossible to talk to him. Dude, I got lucky because he understands everything that I say. So you can tell him what you want, and he can pull it out of your brain and make it come to life. It's like magic, man. This book and the artwork from Malign is unbelievable. And I can't say enough like great things about this guy. And moving forward, it's an exciting time for the team that I'm building around me. I got a writer, Aaron Dunbar, who we did A Wish for Giants for. It won 6 out of 7 awards on a film circuit about a girl suffering from a brain tumor whose wish is to find Bigfoot. So there's a lot of layers to this team. You know, we got a children's book here. We can do some horror here. There's a lot of different multi-genre things happening within my team. And unfortunately, like, everyone's like, how do you do? I'm like, that's just kind of how my brain works, man. It's pretty dark. Sometimes it's happy. That's how all of us are. But for the dark things that we want to say, sometimes we're afraid people are going to judge us. Like, we're not really afraid that people are going to judge us. We just want you to watch it and feel something.
No, I respect that. So you're not going to stay in one lane, so to speak. You're going to discover every avenue out there.
I mean, who doesn't like horror genre? I mean, it's probably my favorite genre. I mean, who doesn't? Like, if you can play serial killer, right, and you can't live that life in real life without getting in trouble, like, who doesn't maybe want to dabble with that and play that? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, honestly, there's a bunch of
like
people I want to kill. I'm not even going to lie.
No, and I hear what you're saying.
Line them up, man. Line them up. Write it on paper, man, and you can make it kind of come to life. Just it's a make-believe life.
I'm going
And
to
that's the
start
thing, that's the
emailing
great
you
thing.
my dreams. We'll see how awkward
Yeah,
we can make
there you
this.
go. That's awesome. So, you guys, I'm a big fan now. I mean, I'm going to tune into you guys. I heard you guys talking about some book that I have no idea
What, Harry Potter?
about. You do. I've never watched Harry Potter. I just know they have a lot of money now, and they have way more money than I do. So one day I hope that I can even have a fraction of that person's net worth because it's crazy. Like,
Look,
I didn't even understand. It's a wizard, dude. And I'm happy for her or him or whoever wrote it, but I'm not big. I've never read a Harry Potter book ever.
you're not alone. I mean, I'm 36 and I just finished watching the movies. Like, I just by chance somehow got into. I've tried multiple times and just recently got into them. And yeah, you're not alone.
So did you like it? Was it enjoyable?
Like, it wasn't bad. I think the ending could have been way different. And that's what I was going. That's what I was angry about. Was I just feel like
So
Harry.
you got all the way to the end of the book and you're like, damn! And then, like, what'd you do? Just, like, you just stopped and, like, you just went on your day? Or did you, like, ponder upon it, all day
No,
long?
he's bitched about it the last couple of days.
Look,
Dude, I might have to read it now just so I understand what you mean. Probably not. I mean, I'll let maybe an audiobook. I'll audiobook it, man. So when I'm driving around the airport, like, I'll listen to it. But that's a pretty big book to commit to. They look pretty big to me, man. Like, anything over, like, 100 pages, I get scared with.
so you haven't read like any of the Game of Thrones books or anything?
Dude, no, never Game of Thrones. Dude, I just watched Twilight, man. Like, the first one. And I was
Why?
like, I kind of get it. You know, I kind of. But no, I mean, I'm big on, like, comedy, like, horror films. I love horror films. I mean, I got a little bit of everything.
Okay.
No, I got you.
Like the Geico lizard.
I'm surprised that like you haven't even checked out. Like I've read all the Game of Thrones books and watched the movie or
'Cause
the
you're a
shows,
nerd.
but it's so dark. Like that's what I love about
Yeah,
it is
good.
how dark it is. Oh yeah. Like I mean,
Is that dark, huh? See,
there's like kind of a rule that don't get attached to any character, which is what I like. And
did you get attached?
no, well, yeah. I mean, I think everyone does, but there's always a point where people are like angry at it because their favorite character gets killed. And-
Or yeah, I mean, well, you got married, so you obviously got a 2. But no, so I mean, I get it, cause like I remember I had a friend who played this character, man, super dark role, and like, dude, he was walking down the street and people hated him. He's like, dude, I'm acting,
Right.
like it's not real, like not like, and people like, man, like people hated him for it, and I'm like, I kind of got a role coming out like that. I did a film called Homeless Henry with Jay Head, the kid from Blindside and Hancock. We shot it down in Texas. Well, I had to play an abusive husband and a father, and I'm like, people are going to hate me when they see this. But if you know who I am, you know that that's not who I am on screen. Like off screen, you know, I'm a lovable father. I work hard. Let's just pretend that I'm saying all this to make myself look better. So when you judge me on this role I play. But no, I mean, and it took a lot for me to get to that level. But if you don't like me on this, then I did my job. I brought somebody else's character to life. That's why it's called acting. Like, if I
Right.
can bring your character to life and you don't like me, like, people love Dexter. I love Dexter. How do you not like him? That's dark. That's like, to me, that's like one of the best roles ever. You're dark. You get to live out like weird things in your head that someone else wrote, and people love you for it.
Yeah, how can no, I agree. I think that's doing your job. When does that movie come out, by the way?
Oh, it's actually a TV pilot show. I
Oh.
just talked to them yesterday. They are finishing up and putting final touches on picture locking, and we're gonna do some sound stuff. We gotta do some a little bit of things with some sound there, and then we're gonna move forward to the score. So, I mean,
You could
it's
get a
crazy how much it's
Facebook
cool.
group. I mean, I know a lot of women who are into that. That like daddy spanking them. So
That's kind of weird, but all right. I mean,
no, I mean it is weird. It is weird. I'm not even gonna lie.
Besides what you guys do down there, besides couch tipping, Kansas, or like Toto. I mean, is there a Toto for real that runs around down there, or no? No Toto?
No Toto.
No.
No Dorothy?
No
Dorothy?
Golden-
No Tin Man?
No Golden Brick Road. no.
No.
Just
You guys have a green brick road from what you're telling me. You have the green brick.
really just a lot of meth and you know, accidents. That's what Kansas is.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I've never been to Kansas, man, ever. Never been.
Have you ever seen like do you paint at all?
Do I paint?
Yeah. Like do you do artwork
Like
at all?
finger paint? Like finger paint, like and stick figures is like the most talent I have.
Okay,
to be
well,
honest.
have you seen a blank canvas?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I
so
have.
if you put it on its side and look at it, that's Kansas. So there you
Oh
go.
my God.
Dude, that sounds like an amazing place to visit, man. Like, what keeps you guys there?
You know.
Poverty.
Yeah. Where else can you go? I mean, low crime rate is pretty much about the only reason. If you have a
The
family.
low crime rate?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So, can you tell me anything about Backroads?
Oh, man, Backroads, dude, listen, this thing is, so it's going to be released in May, in Toronto. This movie, man, like, I read the script, and if you can make me engage, like, through the whole entire script and give me goosebumps, like, that's something I want to be a part of.
Yeah.
So I contacted Andrew Pizzo and my man Tommy, great special effects guy, Sick and Twisted special effects. And dude, when I read that, man, Tom Smith and Andrew Pizzo, like when I met those guys, and I met a good friend Rachel Keefe, who is actually she plays the lead character Trish in my film. But it's everything plus more that you want out of a film in that genre of horror. It is sick. It is definitely twisted in every way
Is
possible.
there nudity?
You're gonna there is in the opening scene. We're gonna have the N-rated version and an N-rated version. I have no idea because I haven't seen that yet because I had sunglasses on, so I wasn't there for that. You know,
Are you naked?
I'm not naked. Nah, man, you gotta pay me a lot of money to get me naked. No, I'm just kidding. I am not naked. I play a police officer, deputy in there. I play stoner cop, which is funny because, I mean, I haven't smoked weed in forever, so it was just crazy to be allowed to do something that I normally don't do, and I just watch a lot of cops TV shows and kind of did some research on it and watched, you know,
Yeah.
movies, like Half Baked, to be example, like half baked like 3 times over again. And Napoleon Dynamite, even though like, cause I remember the only time that I've ever really smoked weed was in California in 2004 or 5, and I watched Napoleon Dynamite, and like I literally laughed so hard that my abs hurt the next day. But it's not funny if you're not high. You know what I mean? It's not funny.
You're right.
So,
You chose a great movie to watch, Stone, by the way.
yeah, I mean that was my one-time stoner moment, man. Like so that was it, man. But Backroads is something for everybody. The effects are phenomenal. I mean, above and beyond the effects. You know, we're talking $75,000 to $100,000 in effects. We're talking body cast. We're talking tons of blood. It's funny because when we were down by Philadelphia, I wasn't there for that shoot, but I remember talking to Andrew and Tom about a couple days later. So they did there's a scene where somebody dies and it's outside, but they literally sent out a dive team into water because they didn't check with the owner of the property or the permit that they had.
Yeah.
They literally sent a dive team out looking for a dead body for like 6 hours. And like,
That is
dude, there's no dead body.
fantastic.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so it's one of those films, man. I'm excited. It's been in the works now. I just talked to them today, actually. I just introduced Tom to Mark from Acclaim in the UK. They're going to release one of their shorts that they got, Hunting for Justice, over that route. And this is the kind of the team that we're building. And our rule is as we're building this production team, and all of us have our own skill sets with each other, that we're not here to make money off of each other. So we're here to do everything that we can to make each other better and make our product at the end of the day better. So there's a team of us that has sworn into each other that, you know, this is how we're going to do it. And I'm like, well, bitch, where's my $1 million check? You know what I mean? If this thing goes big, where's my money? But no, I'm just kidding. Not really. But no, that's ideally, man, like that's where we're at. So
where would somebody in the States see this movie?
I'm sorry?
Where would somebody in the States see Backroads?
Oh, you blurred out on that. So, did you say Escape or?
Yeah, where could we watch it?
Yeah, where could we watch Backroads?
We're gonna wait. It's gonna come out in May. May's gonna be in Toronto, the film circuit. And the thing with film circuits are kind of tricky. If it's well accepted in Toronto, which I know it's going to be in the film festival. A lot of film festivals don't want to accept certain things if they're in a distribution deal or they're widely available to the public. They kind of want to be that person that discovered you, kind of like any agent kind of wants to be that person that like discovers you for no reason. Like, it doesn't really make sense to me. Like, oh, so you can say, oh, dude, I knew him when he was like nobody. Oh, awesome. Like, I don't understand that.
Right.
But, yeah, like, I mean, great. Like, hey, remember him when he was in Kansas and like, he did nothing but like smoke weed and start a radio show, but now look at you guys, you got millions of followers. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's how it works.
So no, I'm just kidding. You guys do fun stuff, man. You guys are doing something that I would love to do, man. Like, you guys just hang out and talk smack to each other and have fun, and it's a great thing. You obviously love what you do, I can tell, and it's totally fun, man. Like, it's a good time.
Yeah, no, but so when you're trying to submit a movie for a film fest or just trying to get exposure that way, you can't talk to anybody in distribution, or you can't talk to Amazon or Hulu or any of that? Is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah, I mean, you can, but it takes some chances away. It doesn't help you. So ideally, you want to try to hit a film circuit first, and then go to distribution. But in the way that it was set up for Malign, I just said, screw it, man. I don't even care. Like, just take it. Let's get it out there. And he's going to distribute and do the things that he needs to do to get the word out. So it takes a lot of pressure off of me.
Yeah, so I was going to think.
I can put more focus.
Have you had more success with that? Like, with someone like a bigger company pushing your product?
It depends on how you go. I mean, the independent spectrum, people think like independent films always have to be super ultra low budget, and like I mean, when we talk super ultra low budget, we're talking like 500,000, $1 million, $2 million. Like, those are low budgets. Consider the fact when people don't realize. You know what I mean? 30 million is in the middle of the road, and 100 million is in the upper range. So, I mean, like, you think about this. I I did an interview, not on the radio though. This is like my first. You guys like took my virginity, man. Like, so thank you.
Oh my God, another one. Yes.
Yeah, good work. So no, I mean, ideally, for this, basketball is a different story when I was younger, but
Horseback riding.
for this, you guys took my entertainment virginity. It was either you guys or somebody on a casting couch later on down the road if I technically couldn't make it on my own.
Gentle?
So I just chose this.
We wanted to be gentle for you. Sorry.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to do what the casting couch will do, though.
Right. But ideally, man, there's no rules to this. Like, what might work for me is not going to work for another guy, or what worked for that girl or that other person is not going to work for me. That's usually that's the crazy thing about this. Like, if you want to become a doctor, and you go to school, then you go to pre-med, then you go take your classes, then you do an internship, and man, here's your thing, you're a doctor, and usually you get a job.
Right.
With this, you could plug away forever, man, and not get discovered. I mean, a lot of it is believing in yourself, in the honest God truth, man. It's believing in yourself. And it takes time, man. When you go out there and try to get an agent, your nose is crooked, you're rugged handsome, you're too fat, your teeth, you're like, dude, you might as well just bury me in the ground, man. Like, all right, I get it, man. I get it, dude. Like, all right. I mean, that's what you go through on a regular basis until, when I was younger, man, it used to eat me alive. And I'm like, as I became older and kind of got more safe in my skin with who I am, I'm like, I'm just going to worry about how talented I am. And if you don't like the way I look, then don't look at me kind of thing. But, I mean, for a lot of these younger females or younger males coming out, I mean, it's a brutal business. And there's a lot of shadiness that goes on in this business, but all you can do is try to stay true to the vision that you have for yourself, and you're investing everything that you have in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, it's not going to work. If you don't believe that you're talented enough, and maybe you're not, maybe it takes time, but you got to put forth and try to perfect your craft in every instance. And the more that you become one with yourself, the easier all this becomes, in all honesty.
Okay.
No, and I agree with you, too. I think, like, anything, rather be radio, comedy, acting, directing, painting, whatever, you're going to stink for a while. Like, you have to put in the hours of, and you gotta bomb. You gotta suck, because then okay, that's my floor. I don't want to do that again. So yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying.
Hey, Jason, can I ask you a question?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so when I get done here, I'm going to go home, and I'm going to take my pants off and get on the couch. Is it worth 99 cents to buy Post-Apocalyptic Commando Shark?
That's not a good answer.
Funny, man. I mean, dude, it's like I met Sam. Sam's a good dude, and the movie is funny. It's got a lot of dry, funny humor involved in it. It's really witty. It's actually well done, man. To be honest with you, whether you take your things off or not for 99 seconds, that's pretty cheap, man. Like, I mean, I could get 10 nuggets at Burger King or 99.
Watch a movie.
Dude, I mean, I don't really know where I'm going with this because you kind of put me on the spot. Yeah, I mean, dude, Sam's a good dude. He has a good following. It's a fun project. It was shown in Buffalo. He got an award for it. He has a really good following. It's something that has some dry, funny humor stuff, man. I think Sam's a talented dude too. Like, his voiceover work's tremendous. And I think it's worth it. I think he could probably charge you a lot more for it than that. I think for him, he just wants to get the word out, and just like anybody does.
You play
but a lot of things with stuff.
A bit part in that, don't you?
I'm sorry?
You play a bit part.
I got a role in. Yeah, I mean, I got a spot in there. It was a last minute thing. I was home visiting family in PA, and I saw that they were casting something. I reached out to him, and next thing you know, I got we shot in one day. I got a spot, and it's actually on my demo. There's a part that's on my demo from there. It was just a fun role, I got to play a douchebag drunk dude that's talking about blowing up Russians. I mean, how cool is that?
Yes.
I don't think the president would appreciate that.
Oh yeah, I mean, But but that's what it is, you know. I mean, here's the thing about this too. There's a lot of people that want to do this. There's a lot of people that say they can. Like, I don't really tell people my personal stuff. Like, if I'm out, like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm a sous chef. Oh, really? Oh, what were you before that? I'm a som. I don't really talk about this. I kind of let my work kind of get out there and speak for itself. And it's not that I'm embarrassed about it, but I would like to one day, you know, be like, oh, you know what? Well, this is what he's known for, or vice versa. But a lot of people start stuff and they don't finish it. There's tons of people, or they'll cut corners, or they won't edit, or right. And it's unfair to the people, because there's people out there that donate their time for free. There's people that get a lower ultra budget pay than what they should get. And if you're going to take on a project and you say you're going to put your name on it, and if it's my project, I'm going to finish it. Or like I know Sam's going to finish it, or Andrew, or Tom, or Aaron. But there's a lot of people out there that do that, and they never finish it, man. It just goes to your 99 cents and your underwear that go underneath your couch, and it goes under the couch with you.
Right. No, I agree. I mean, but as far as kind of being an independent artist, do you do are you active on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat and all that stuff? Or?
It's funny, man. My daughter Snapchats me. She's the only one. I didn't even get into Snapchat. I don't even understand it. Nor do I understand. I just don't got the time for Snapchat. Somebody else set my Instagram up for me. I didn't set that up. But I'm starting to get more involved with my own Instagram. My Facebook page is pretty much mine. Hence all the typos, because let's be honest, like, they give you all these awesome phones. They give you all these phones, but then your thumb is way bigger than the key. And then your autocorrect becomes your brain, and then it's just typos everywhere. So between a fat thumb and autocorrect, like, it's an English teacher's nightmare, man.
No, it's awful. Do you ever feel though, like, because I feel this way myself, like, do you ever feel like you're doing yourself a disservice by not playing that social media game more? By not being more active? Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm here, I'm there, taking pictures.
I try it. It's what I use it's funny because I use social media to stay in contact with my friends and my family. That's how it was. Like, when I was in LA and Vegas and New York City, and like, it was a way for me to stay connected to people that I wasn't around all the time. And now, like, I try not to post things that might, like, Christmas time, like, oh, my daughter's gifts opening, because what if, you know, I kind of do have a sensitive side to me. Like, what if your child doesn't have gifts, or what if you lost your child? So I try not to use it for that aspect, or I try to show it as natural as possible, as if you really met me. This is the kind of person that I am, kind of thing. So it's like you on the outside looking in, and you're like, this is the real guy. I don't post just like the glamorous stuff. I just post random day-to-day activities. Obviously, I'm not going to post myself in a shower naked or going to the bathroom or on a couch. But you know what I mean? Like, or I'm not looking for alternative modes. I'm not looking to date 3,000 women on Facebook. No, I'm sorry. And I would say a good majority of my people on my Facebook page I know personally, to be honest with you. So, in a roundabout way, do I feel guilty? No, not really. I really don't, to be honest.
It's funny, we were talking to an actor out of Chicago, and he was kind of not reprimanding me, but he was saying, like, man, if you want to be on your grind, you got to be on your social media all the time.
And
I
he's
mean,
a big social media
and in a
presence.
way, he's right. And I've thought about that ever since I talked to him. I'm like, yeah, I probably should do way more.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Like, if you oversaturate anything, right? Like, if you spend time with your significant other all the time, you're gonna fight. It's guaranteed, hands down. You guys are gonna get an argument. If you oversaturate the dinner table, what are you gonna do? You're gonna overeat. If you oversaturate the marketing and social media page, I'm not gonna listen to you because I'm sick of seeing it. Like, so I mean, like, the rule of thumb, once a day, maybe post something. There's some times that I posted a couple more things or whatnot, or edited some things, but I mean, at the end of the day, I can paint. We'll go back to that painting canvas. Like, I could paint any picture I want on social media. That's the creepy part about it.
That's true.
And I'll tell you what, like, you know what I mean? I post my real life. Like, that's who I am. Like, if we all went out to dinner and hung out, like, the same person you're talking to on the phone is the same person that you're gonna get. Like, I definitely wear my emotion on the sleeve. It could be a good or a bad thing. But at the end of the day, that's who I am. And you know, I think I don't like, my pet peeve is I hate fake people, man. I hate it. It's like my soul. like those people that like just like you're pretending to be something you're not. No one cares. You know what I mean? I don't care that you got $5,000 shoes. Even if I had that kind of money, why would I waste $5,000 on a pair of shoes? Or
Right.
why? It makes no sense, man. Like, dude, donate some money, sell your shoes, and feed 50 people, feed 100. And I'm not saying that they didn't earn the right to get that. That's one thing I never really got growing up. You know, I came from nothing. I continue to work. I was raised in a single parent home, so I get it, man. I get why people may do that, but I think once you sell out, man, you're sold out forever. You're never coming back.
No, and I'm on your side with it. I'm just saying, like, do you ever feel, or could you imagine feeling that pressure to be that kind of, oh, look at me, I'm an actor, I'm a director, I'm doing this, just in terms of, getting, putting yourself out there more.
That's the one thing I hated about living in LA was that's the mentality of that, man. Like that's what you're around. I mean, if there's a huge thing coming out right now where there's people outside of LA and outside of New York that are getting better gigs and more gigs because the relationships you're building with others are more genuine than that like fake, like, oh great, like you said, like, oh man, dude, no, like really at the end of the day when we can label ourselves anything we want to label ourselves, to be honest with you, but at the end of the day, like, it's your actions that speak. I can put any label on me, but if my actions don't back anything, then all I hear is like Charlie Brown stuff. You know what I mean? So I feel no pressure that way at all. I feel the only pressure I feel is to be a better human every day and to treat other people like with kindness and to help others, man. Like I'll give you my shirt, not my underwear, man, but I'll give you my shirt and my socks, my shoes, But I'll give you whatever it takes if you need help, and I can help you or introduce you to someone that can help you. Like that's who I am, And I think if more people were like that, the world would definitely be a better place. And you can't cast a judgment. Don't cast a judgment on someone. Like if you want to smoke weed, that's what you guys do in Kansas. Dude, I'm all for it, man. Do what you got to do. But yeah, don't judge people, man. Don't judge somebody else because they did something that, I mean, yeah, okay, if you kill someone, it's a different story, but I'm talking in general, man. Like that's a lot of stuff that you see, a lot of divide, a lot of, okay, you're liberal, you're this, you're that. Like, dude, who cares? Just fix the system. It's broken. We all know this. Fix it. Somehow, some way, fix it.
No, I knew I liked you. I completely agree with what you're saying,
Yeah.
Before I let you go, though, man, I do want to talk a little bit more about your children's book that you're working on, because I know you kind of talked about that, and I was kind of waiting for that for the end. So I want to give you a better platform. What made you decide you wanted to write a children's book?
Oh man, it's funny, man. In third grade, I wrote a children's book. It was called Weirdos Go to Space, man, and it was about these 5 aliens, man, that had these things, and all they wanted to do, man, they wrecked and they came down to Earth, and they just wanted to eat. So it's funny that we're talking about this because they took a farmer's cow, and like it's crazy, man. But I've always had these, man. I've been sitting on this book now for 8.5 years, actually. I've been waiting for the timing to find the right illustrator to, and it was frustrating because I tried so hard to push it and push it and push it. And it just wasn't going anywhere, man. It was just like trying to push a lawnmower up like a 90-degree incline, man. It's not coming. It's not going to happen. So when I found Stefan, my man from Belgium, and he did the Malign poster, and I was talking with one of my good friends. I'm not going to mention their name on the radio because they're super well off in what they're doing.
That's fine.
And I showed her the artwork, and I'm like, so what do you think? They're like, you got to go with him. I said, okay. And they just released their own publications, and they got their own their line of books going out in the stores right now, actually, which is an exciting time for them. But so ideally, I've said on it forever, man. It's been a story. Like do you guys get fireflies down there in the summertime, like July or June?
Yeah.
It's magical, man. It's magical. And I remember as a kid, my grandpa put me in a wagon, man, and my cousins, and we'd do some hillbilly stuff, man, and go riding through the fields in a wagon on like a little John Deere tractor and look at fireflies. And it was cool. We thought it was awesome. So ideally, I never knew why a firefly flashed at night. And my research shows me that there's only one reason for it, man. And you can't tell your children this because just can't. Well, and at least not till they're like 18 or 19 or 20 or married. But that's a mating call, man.
Call,
it's
yeah.
a mating call.
So is that kind of what the book's about? Is
Uh,
not
it's about
fireflies
Yeah,
fucking, but like
Hey, how you doing? I'm Jason Bobby, here to sort you. Listen, let me just get this over with. Fireflies light up because they want to bang each other. Nah,
right. Yeah, no, not that, but yeah.
No, I get it. It's ideally the absolute opposite. It's about a father trying to explain to his daughter. So it's a basis of reality and fantasy. Like, dude, like, all of us as we're little, like, who doesn't want to fly? Who doesn't have an imagination? Like, we played make-believe how many times? I'm pretty sure all three of you guys have played doctor at some point in time with each other. Maybe not recently.
Right now.
I'm just kidding, yeah. No, I'm just kidding, man. So, ideally, man, it's a combination of reality versus fantasy. And at the end of the day, you know, it's a father trying to explain to her why it does light up. And it's definitely set for, you know, second grade, the 8 years old, 7-year-old, 6 years old, right in that era.
Good.
And then, you know, it's funny because everyone asks me the question, man, how can you do all these horror movies and do all these, like, darker roles, but here you are writing a children's book, and, like, I can't believe you can do that. And I'm just like, man, creativity has no limits. And that's my answer. Like, creativity has no limits. Like, whatever you guys do a radio show, what you do, we all have a creative element to us. It's just, are we going to tap into it and go at its full, you know, full board and tap into it and commit to it? Or are you going to let somebody else designate who you are or designate your creative level or culture? So for me, I have no limits on my creativity. Obviously, I would never do anything naked. Like, I have a fine line of what I won't cross.
Yeah. I mean,
but,
as a father, because I have a 6-year-old, and I know, like, I'm completely different on radio than I am at home. I don't cuss. I don't even. I mean, I'm a completely different person.
You only bring one hooker home.
Right. But yeah, so
Yeah.
I get where you're at. Where you got this other side. Yeah, sure, you make horror films, but you have to be a good guy to also be a good father. You have to have, you know, that in you. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be unselfish, man. Like, you're responsible for another life. So, I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, I put my acting career on hold for 6 years, man, when my daughter was born. I stopped everything and made sure now that she's way more independent, I'm able, my mom helps out as being the nanny, and when I got to travel and do things, my work, I'm a sous chef at the public house. They are super supportive of allowing me, as long as we're not in our peak seasons, they allow me to travel, man, and they're supportive. And yeah, I get my balls busted, you know, sometimes by them based on certain things. But at the end of the day, man, they're really supportive, and that's all I can ask for.
That's awesome. That's definitely awesome. Yeah, and dude, when the book comes out, you got to let me know where to get it because I'm excited to pick that up.
Oh, man, I will. I'll just mail you guys one, man. You guys are my new hillbilly friends, man, from Kansas. So
Yes.
I'll just shoot. I'll get one out to you guys, man.
I appreciate that, definitely, man. And yeah, man, anytime you want to come on, you got anything else coming up, just you know how to get a hold of me to let me know, and we can get you back on. We can plug whatever. So until the next time, man, where do you want all of our listeners to get a hold of you to find out information about you?
All right, beautiful, man. I mean, you can get me at JasonPaul180 on Instagram, J Paul or Jason Paul on Facebook, and you know, it just, dude, this has been fun, man. It really has, man. So I appreciate you guys really taking the time out for me and allowing me to have fun with you guys, man.
Oh no, definitely, man. It
problem.
was great talking to you, brother. You have a great rest of your day, man. You take care.
You guys sound so high, dude. All right, later.
Thanks.
I think that's funny because
we're like that. You're just like, thanks, handful.
You're bad at it. What's really bad is we're all sober. I haven't smoked weed in like 10 years.
God, you're old.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm totally sober.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're sober because you just came from factory work.
Yeah, no kidding.
You're lame.
Yeah, you suck.
Sorry, I'm a weenie.
Anyway, we got to take a break because we got to pay bills
Yep.
because that's what we do now.
Please listen to the Humane Society talk about puppies being kicked.
Kick.
What?
That's all our commercials have been the last
Just
couple of
puppies.
times.
Oh, it's the Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah.
Oh, is it the one that I filmed? You just hear in the background,
The one puppy, two puppy.
one puppy.
Just does a fucked up version of the Count behind the McDonald's.
That's right.
You know. Anyway, guys, we do have a lot of news to actually get to. We got a lot of stuff going on that we will definitely get to after this break. So enjoy our ads and whatever.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Yep.
All right, so we are on the recording aspect of it. So all
I
of
really
you guys
like
on
Jason
the
Paul.
YouTube.
I hope he
I do
calls
too.
back.
That's a really good guy.
I forgot we were doing that. I was like, doing my
You were
headphones. Like,
ready
I'm
to get
going to
off?
break. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay.
No, we really kind of ground ourselves in the fact that since we decided to do this, we're now doing an unadulterated 2 hours of just talking. We're used to
Pretty
taking a
much.
10,
Yeah, there's
15
no
minute
break. There's
break.
nothing.
No, which is fine because sometimes our listeners are going to just hear us kind of take a break. I mean,
They are.
this is more, I don't know, just for fun, I guess. But behind the scenes kind of thing. But yeah, no,
I really liked Jason Paul. I hope he calls again. He seems like he seems to be more down to earth than some of the people that we've interviewed.
and you never know. I mean, that's the thing. When you find these people, especially like on Facebook or whatever, you're like, how legit is this person going to be? And
yeah.
he seemed like a really good guy.
He seems articulate. It's not like asking if he's ever gone ghost hunting and some guy going, yes. And then silence.
We've had our share of
We
fantastic
sure have.
interviews.
Hey, is this puppy chow yours?
Actually, I
Dude,
brought
it's
it.
like old.
I
Oh,
brought
really?
it Friday,
Yeah.
Oh.
and I left it here thinking because Will had a cold, and that's why I left all the water bottles. I was trying to be nice. Apparently, they didn't want it, so that's the last time I'm fucking nice. So we need to talk about something.
Sure, what do we got?
On Wednesday, my wannabe husband is calling
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
He's
And-
calling in?
Yeah, he's like a guest host the whole time.
Oh, Alex.
Alex, yes. He will
Oh.
be calling in. And I wanted you guys to remind you guys we have a game we're going to play with him. So please, you need to think outside the box. We're going to play Dirty Minds.
Look, I'm not going to accept gays quite yet. So if that's what thinking outside the box is to you, then I'm
That's just
sorry.
not something I'm willing to do.
I'm not willing to be with the gays.
I am a horrible person.
So the game we're going to play is called Dirty Minds. And I'm going to give you 3 clues, and you have to try to figure out what it is.
Okay.
And I thought I would pre-warn you guys because I think Alex is going to be good at this. So one of the clues that it talks about in the game is I'm another name for a woman.
A
Almost
hole?
everyone has one.
A hole? Yeah, I'm on this.
A dog?
And I end with U-N-T. What am I?
Cunt?
Look, he's thinking.
UNG.
Another name for a woman?
That ends with U-N-T.
Everybody has one?
I'm an ant.
Oh.
Yeah.
You said it ends with U-N-T. Oh. Oh.
So, and that's how the
Oh,
game is
God.
going to go. So
I'm going to suck at this
Yeah.
game.
remember
I
when-
just went right to cunt.
right? Well, remember when we did the music game where I gave
Yeah.
you clues? We sucked at that. Well, Will sucked at that one.
Yeah, you
Bigger.
guys sucked.
Yeah,
I did
I
did
did.
well.
So yeah, I was wanting you guys to be prepared for Wednesday because that's how it's gonna go.
But yeah, but how do you prepare for something like that?
I don't know, but the way your face just went blank,
Mentally prepared.
and then Cody telling me, "Well, it's ant."
It's U-N-T. Oh.
Yeah, he was literally thinking of a little insect.
Yeah, I was. I was like,
But partially because no one says aunt, it's aunt.
You have never said aunt in your whole life.
Yeah, because I hate my aunt. She's a cunt.
I see.
yeah, you got it. No,
Aunt, cunt.
I am gonna
Yeah,
think
so-
it's funny though if Alex is just really bad at this radio thing. Like if he freezes.
I know.
Like we're all excited. Oh, he's gonna be here for like 2 hours. This is gonna
He
be
ends
great.
up being
And
the
the
ghost
entire
hunter
time
guy.
he's just like, yes. Hello.
I do. I think that'd be amazing. Like, what if the ghost
would
hunter
almost-
guy is better?
I would almost enjoy that more, to be honest. Like like Alex is super talented, and I hate him for that. But
I would. I'd post to Oliver's page. This is the real Alex. Hello. I think it'd be great.
starts going to like his bits. I'm like, no, you can't do your bits.
It's completely new.
Do you guys like the Golden Girls?
Actually, I think that could start a conversation. I like the Golden Girls.
You do.
You don't like it enough.
Oh.
One of my
Those are like fighting words.
one of my Christmas presents from my wife was a Golden Girls trivia game. Dude, it is
Wow.
fucking
oh my God.
hard.
I wanted to play it,
No.
and he was like, no, nobody can play it.
No, that's the thing. No one can. It is impossible.
You won't let us play it, so we don't
Okay,
know.
I was
promise you I would
looking.
suck at it.
I was looking at these questions. It's like, what episode did Rose sleep with whose ever boyfriend? Who the fuck knows that?
I like Golden Girls,
There was
but I
like
don't know
Four,
Golden Girls.
yeah, there was like 400 episodes of Golden Girls. I mean, for the most part, after the 5 minutes that you jack off, you're done watching it. Like,
Sounds about right.
so, I mean, like, what really is there to it? That's what I meant by no one can play it. Like, you can try if you want, but you're...
Good luck.
We should try like a Harry Potter game.
God, I don't know anything about Harry Potter.
Apparently, a lot of people don't, and I just didn't realize
That's
that.
because I think it's overrated.
I don't know enough about it. Because those people go deep, too.
They
Yeah.
do.
Like, Game of Thrones, I could own.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, but...
yeah, we could do. Do you do Game of Thrones?
Yeah, not as much as
Nah.
him, but
He hasn't watched the last season, I don't think.
yeah, I've watched the last season.
Did you see the new clip they dropped, the 30-second one?
I know everyone's excited. I haven't seen it.
Oh my God! Okay, so let's talk about it. So they're in the crypt at Winterfell, okay, and they're walking by.
Oh, and Daenerys.
No. Listen. So they're in the crypt, and they walk by the aunt that died, Jon Snow's mom. And then they keep walking, and then I don't even know who the other statue was. It was a weird one. And then they go by Eddard Stark's, and they stop, and it's Jon Snow, Arya, and Sansa all in a row. And then they go to the end, and there's their statues. And they're standing in front of them, and then everything gets quiet, and you can see the white frost come in, like the White Walkers are there. So they all pull out their swords, and then it pops up, so it begins. I almost came. It was the best thing ever.
I mean, you do know, like, everyone dies.
Yes.
Like, so...
You don't masturbate to the death scenes?
No, I'm fine with that. Like, I just know a lot of people are going to be mad. Because they're
I'm
so
okay
mad.
with it,
Like,
because
so
that's the
many people,
point.
like, rage quit when Jon Snow died in, like, season 5 or
Which
whatever.
I don't get.
It's like, who cares? I mean...
Like, it really frustrated me when everybody was so excited when Arya got her sight back, because that's not a thing.
Not yet, anyway.
I mean, it's not a thing. Like, why are you upset? She's a badass, even
Yeah.
without her sight.
Right, she didn't need it. And, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you can go back behind what Game of Thrones should have been, shouldn't have been, whatever. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we all know that pretty much everyone dies.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's how it's going to end. Like, I'm excited. I don't care who dies. Fucking kill them all. You know what? Set the world on fire.
I don't know. I am really torn on this last season. Because I haven't been happy
I really want
with the
Cersei
show.
to die, though. Like, if that cunt does not die, I might have to start calling HBO more
See,
than what
I
I
hope
do.
she doesn't.
I hope she gets the throne.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that would piss
So
me off.
that's what
I
would
love
make me
Cersei.
happy is so many people pissed off.
I love Cersei personally.
I hope the mountain gets the throne.
Mountain is the throne.
He just sits on it and it disappears. And then he smiles really big.
The mountain is the throne for Cersei.
He holds up his nun chick, and she's, stay.
I kind of actually forgot he got all fucked up.
Yeah, he's like not a zombie, but
Yeah, pretty much.
Something.
he's something.
Nah, I don't know.
No, they call the white. No, they've never said zombie, have
But
they?
people
It's
were all
White
mad
Walkers.
at
Pretty much
people
what he
were all
is.
mad because Sansa in a scene gives Winterfell to Daenerys.
But see, I don't think that's how it went down. Like, I think it was just an awkward meeting. Like, hey, I'm here with your brother, and she's like, "Oh, welcome," because technically,
This your
Daenerys,
yeah.
she's a queen.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of what I thought too. I thought people were And besides, Winterfell's going to get overran by people. My favorite characters are either already dead or going to die very soon. By the way, we're going back on in 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Can we continue talking about Game of Thrones?
No.
4.
And welcome back.
Welcome back.
So we do need to get into real news.
Yeah, let's switch over, I guess.
I know. Like,
Having a
that's
good
so much-
conversation behind the scenes, and then you fucking ruin it.
I know. I apologize. You want it to be about fun stuff, but it can't always be about fun stuff.
Do you want to do the opinion poll, or do you want to start with what you have?
Opinion poll. That's what I vote for.
I'm fine with that.
Cody?
We got to run through it quick, though.
I just like the opinion polls.
So today's opinion poll is brought to us on the flip-floppiness of the Republican Party. It has been noted in the past several months that the Republicans are completely anti-abortion. We want to save babies, 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 babies.
Unless you're Trump, but yeah.
Exactly. Well, a new study has come out saying that more U.S. women are not having as many babies, that women are not keeping up with the amount of babies that they should to keep the population in the United States up. So the Republicans are pissed, saying, well, this is what happens when you give women free minds. This is why you should marry women as soon as possible, and you should encourage your wives to stay home. Is this really a thing?
Well, then, okay, let's encourage better pay then.
Well,
you can't. You can't have that with a single income house.
and
You
that's
just
what
can't
was
anymore.
brought up by one of the reporters at CNN, was talking to the head of the Republican Party and said, well, according to you guys, the last quote that came from the Republican Party was, if you can't have them, don't have children.
Yeah.
And now you're saying more people should. And the Republican Party responded with, well, we wanted people who are married, of legal age, and could afford them to have babies.
Yeah, that's like nobody in this
Who's
country.
that?
I mean, really, there's very few people. And I'd also argue this: we also need to worry about our resources.
Right?
I mean,
So
I know,
we don't have as many people as we do right now. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's
We have a
fine.
lot of Russians coming in. How many brides are there now?
Just take more of those in. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I heard about this, and I really
It's
think
the
like this is
weirdest
a
thing
non.
ever to me.
It's a weird to me. It's like a weird religious roots problem.
I don't get it.
You know, like back how Christianity, when it came about, its whole thing was just like to rule over,
Yes.
using their demograph, conquer mentality. I think it's like, for me, it feels something like that. It's weird. I
don't get it, because before a lot of people would have at least 20 kids because only 2 or 3 would survive. And now it's if you have at least 2 kids.
Where the fuck were they being born?
Well, no, if you would
Like
think
the
back
surface
100
of the
years.
moon?
Think back 100 years where we didn't have the antibiotics and the medications we do now.
I mean, I don't think it's a.
Well, and if you were to
better than
have
50-50.
even if you're to have, because I know somebody who has 5 children, and they're all these cute little blonde-haired, blue-eyed kids, and the first question is, well, you're not Mexican, why do you have so many kids?
Because they're Catholic.
They're not Catholic.
Oh, well, then she's a whore.
They just like
Or I do. I mean, you can't have more than 2 or people complain. If you have 1 kid, people are like, well, when's your next?
Yes, yeah.
And if you don't want kids, well, what's wrong with you? Maybe I don't fucking like them.
No, I mean for forever I was gay because
You're not?
Me and the wife were married for forever. Didn't have a kid.
Because she was your beard.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I wish, to be honest. Be so much easier.
You know, when I
I
knew your
understand
wife,
dudes.
she was not into the D. I think you ruined her.
I know. It sucks.
God, I miss making out with your wife.
And she ruined me the opposite way.
Right?
Now I'm more into the D. 'Cause I'm like, I've been with a woman. Ugh.
That's why Cody seems a lot happier lately.
Yeah.
Why?
He's learned how to swallow, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Look at Cody. He's like, yeah.
She's now with the D. No, but it is weird. I mean, that's the whole thing with, Is there another opinion poll, or can I go into
No,
what
you
I was-
can go. Please
Oh.
talk to us, baby.
No,
Tell us
I
what
got-
you're thinking.
No, I didn't want to expand too much. If there
No.
was another
No, I'm saving the next one till Wednesday because it's a good one.
till Wednesday.
Wednesday's a big day.
So interesting report that came out of the CDC today.
Ooh.
you are now more likely to die of an opioid overdose than you are a car accident.
How do they know?
Well, just numbers. More people in
Did they see my
2018
prescription?
died of an opioid overdose than a
do
car
they know
accident.
how many I'm taking a day?
So, no, here's my question regarding that. Number one, we got a lot of people we just need to get off drugs. Is
You're not wrong.
ultimately the thing. And if you're listening, and there's a good chance someone who is listening is on opioids, who's listening to us, for one, get help. And if you don't feel
Wipe
like...
your nose and go outside. Find a doctor. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's what
Jesus
got them into
Christ.
trouble. Yeah, you're a horrible... No, but for one, do get help. And one thing that has been scientifically proven to help people with opioid problems is kratom. Find kratom, use that to substitute, because that's something no one's talking about. And this drug that is from Indonesia is on the cusp of being illegalized, but there has only been 12 related kratom deaths in the entirety of the last almost 5 years. And out of 11 of them, other drugs were present in the people's systems.
Oh.
Yeah,
So it's not
heroin
even-
and
okay.
prescription drugs and all sorts of stuff. So, it's not, but it's better than methadone as far as people's success rate and how easy it is to get off of
So
kratom.
that's why they want to make it illegal.
Well, and
You might as well fucking stop it. It's helping too many people.
This is where I'm going with this. How much should Big Pharma be responsible for a lot of this now? Now, if you made a vehicle, like back in the day, if you made a car that didn't have seat belts and didn't have mirrors, what happened to that company? They went under. And another company who made a better vehicle. That was how we are today with Ford and Chevys. They innovated.
You have to keep going and make things safer.
And consumers made companies answer for their faults. So when we find out that Big Pharma is behind the lobbying that goes against things like kratom, CBD, these all-natural options, should Big Pharma be
I feel like they
sanctioned
should.
in a manner?
I do. I feel like they should. I mean, why aren't you wanting to help people? Isn't that their thing, though? I mean, technically, you should be making these medications to help
Yeah,
people.
but you get more money out of it if you treat them and not heal them. You know
Yeah,
what
and
I mean?
I don't think. Yeah, no, that's not what they're for. I think
I
that's
would
a
like to
common
think so.
I think that's a common misconception.
I would like to think that's
no,
what
they're drug
for.
pushers. I mean, that's
Yeah.
their bottom line. It's actually illegal for them to not make money. If Tanya, if you worked for a big pharma company and they could make 25 cents by firing you, they are obliged by their investors to fire you. Doesn't matter if you worked there for 30 years and you're awesome and whatever, they'd rather have that 25 cents.
They're
That
not
means
going to get
more.
that 25 cents. I'm no longer swallowing for that company.
Well, you wouldn't work. I mean, this is why you don't have a job. You're barely hired here anymore.
You're not wrong.
I mean, the sexual harassment suits are really piling up.
You know, and
Harvey Weinstein looks at your files and he's like, God damn, I'm glad I'm not that bitch.
you know, I do feel bad because let's be honest for a minute. I have Me Too'd 95% of our
Lowballing it.
guests.
It's
Absolutely
ridiculous.
lowballing it.
You
No,
understand? You
'cause there's
understand
been
too. That
others
drives
three I
me
haven't.
insane.
There are 3 I have not.
Who?
Yeah, because I had to beforehand. I'd be like, "Don't fuck with this person," and I almost
He
felt
did.
I
He
felt
really
like I
did.
was putting a nice little line into, "Hey, let's not do this anymore." But no, apparently I had to do it every time we interview somebody. I've got to go back and be like, "Come on, put your hormones on hold for a little bit."
But I think I'm able to read people enough that when I make my comments, they're like, oh, okay. And they can play it off. And I really worry, why can't certain men do that? Like, do you know what I mean? Because you can play it off.
Because it's creepy. It's creepy if you're a man or a woman. I don't care.
Look at
It's
Chloe.
creepy.
Is it because I keep touching you?
Yes.
I think too. I don't know, especially as a. Let's say when I call in to Will Johnson or Kevin Hawley or any of that stuff, and they just start hitting on me. I'd be like,
So what are you wearing?
yeah, can I talk about what I'm doing?
Are you gonna
Like,
sing?
can I go that route? Like, that would be my
That would be amazing.
interpretation.
Or
That's
your
all.
Like
rose
I
of
would
silk.
listen to that repeatedly.
So I feel like you should do. You're not wrong in a direction. I think that there's a path for that.
I think
There
you should
is.
put her
But
on the Will
just-
Johnson show and then have her do that.
But just not the path is not with two guys also doing radio with you. Maybe you, another sexually aggressive woman, and you guys just get guests
Did you
and
call
just
me sexually
Wait, isn't that
aggressive?
Sweet and Sour Hour?
no. I don't think so.
No.
I don't know. I've never listened.
Or is that Robin Slim?
It's Robin Slim.
I've seen Rob sexually aggress some men.
Sexually aggressive to me.
I'm pretty sure they're both
Really?
incels.
At least I get a lot harder when listening to it.
I don't know. We've never called them back.
But it's really just my veins. Because my heart is about to have a heart attack. Because he doesn't use the goddamn bell right. Fucking hack.
You know, I keep waiting for the day that they listen to our shows
They
and they're
won't.
like, "Those fucking bastards," and then they call in.
absolutely will not.
No, they
They
won't.
aren't ready for a war.
Like I do. I really want them to call in and try to like
They won't. They're
humiliate us and have us be like, "What?"
Tell
They
them-
Okay.
do one show a week and they barely hold it up.
Yeah.
But no,
No, they had 3 listeners last week. You're not really giving them the benefit of the doubt. If it was 3.
3 hookers they hired.
yeah, we have more guests in a week than they have listeners. Which maybe that's not right. Maybe we're punching down and we shouldn't be.
No, I think we're justified.
I think
So
it's right.
29 dogs die in a suburban kennel fire about an hour
Oh my
ago.
god! It wasn't me that brought up
What the
dead
fuck,
dogs.
dude?
Look at his face.
I was
Oh,
in such a good mood. That
Cody.
makes me so sad.
And you realize
Dead
I have
dog.
nothing more on that except for just to break that headline.
He gets so pissed about the dead dogs.
Dude,
I was literally looking for something else.
that makes me really sad.
And that made me happy because that makes so many people upset.
Like our fans love dogs. Oh, poor Cody. Like all 29 died. Do you think they died horribly?
Well, I mean, what do you mean all? I'm sure there was more than that. They're all trapped in the kennel when the place caught on
Oh
fire.
God, he's gonna start crying. Soon we're gonna get the hate messages. All you talk about is dead dogs. That's because they're fucking dying all the time. Remember when we talked about dog rape and you guys got pissed? Technically, they were getting love.
No, that was
Hey, we're
actually kind of funny.
Hey, we're stopping the Trump talk because they didn't want that.
What do you guys want? Do you want us to talk about Trump or dogs dying? You really need to draw a line here.
Trump.
So
Oh, Cody. I'm sure it was a quick.
No, it wasn't.
It was smoke and illusion.
Yeah.
no,
Took
yeah,
hours.
yeah. They ran around and the little tails started catching on fire first. And they looked like a 4-legged firecracker.
Oh, poor Cody.
If it makes you feel better, most of them probably pissed and shit where they died.
I bet they're like in perfect ash formation. Like they look real, but if you touched it, would
There's so many people are angry.
Was it a flash fire? What? How would that
amazing.
even happen?
oh, I'm gonna have blackface.
Did
I
they
forgot
just
about
get?
my
Did
hand.
they just nuke them?
Yeah. It was just like something that you see in like 50s propaganda.
Right?
The mushroom cloud.
Just nuking a bunch of dogs.
So no, I do have some other news. And this one directed more. This was actually what I was going to go with. Especially for any parents who have children that are in the school.
Vaccinate them.
Yes, that is one thing. But no, the Trump administration, who is just constantly anti-Obama, is rolling back Obama-era initiatives for healthier school lunches, giving dietary industry a bigger presence in the U.S. cafeterias. That could mean more fat, sugar, and salt in children's diets.
That is so frustrating to me.
Yeah, and like it goes in to say like the Obama administration, accompanied by Michelle Obama's Let's Move campaign, pushed for more fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lower sodium levels, and fat-free chocolate milk.
Bastard.
I
Right?
know, right? Horrible. Trying to get our
What an
kids healthy.
absolute dick.
The School Nutrition Association, with 58,000 members, at first praised the law, but when it was implemented in 2012, many kids weren't happy with the smaller servings and more health conscious menus, Which, by the way, yes, medicine. Oftentimes, medicine's bitter, but after you take it, you feel better. So,
Exactly.
one consequence of this, and see, this is where we're starting to see why this is being overturned. One consequence of this was lower sales of milk between 2011 and 2017.
Really?
So, I mean, Big Dairy is now saying, no, wait, we're losing
Big
money.
dairy? Oh my
Look,
God.
Agriculture it runs way more than it should. Obviously, we have to do that stupid hour, or we could either, move back or move ahead, all bullshit
Hey,
because
fuck
of
you.
farmers.
Oh my God.
Agriculture runs a lot. And they're saying people are drinking a lot less milk. The dairy industry today is really struggling. On that note, I want to say that people are finding substitutes for milk. Ultra pasteurized is way different than your 2% whole milk. Soy milk, almond milk. There's all these other options. It's not like people are drinking less milk.
I don't understand the hate for Michelle Obama's food initiative. Do you know what I mean?
Well, what I'm saying is it's not even Michelle Obama. It's not even this. It's not even the fact that they care about our kids one way or the other, but it's, we're losing a lot of sales in dairy. Let's push
and that
this.
never occurred to me, but I could see that they'd have to go to a different type of milk. But I mean, even when she launched that program, I never understood the hate. All she was trying to do was encourage more veggies, more fruits, rice, some pasta, not the huge pizzas and French fries. That's all she wanted to cut out. Or when they took out all the canned pop machines, seriously, that really hurt you?
No, I agree.
I don't get
mean,
it.
it's big government. Well, what is it? Is they hurting you or are they helping you? Like, my kid hates me because I let him have one sugar-filled treat a day. Like a cookie or a donut or something. You can have one a day. And I mean, I'm such a bad. What am I supposed to just let him have candy all the time? Let him drink soda? I mean, no, I care about him. I want him to live longer.
Because I was trying to look it up.
Well, and even if that's not it, we have a health insurance crisis in America. Wouldn't it be better if these kids are healthier so we don't have to address that issue as early in their life as we had to?
Okay, so the schools could provide 12,000 calories or 1,200 calories a day on a 2,000 calorie diet. The schools could provide 1,200. So that just provides. So that's what breakfast and lunch.
That's breakfast and lunch, yeah.
And what it's saying is that you're right. It's the flavored milks that they wanted out of the school. So instead of chocolate, strawberry. One time when I went to the schools, they had Oreo milkshake milk.
Oh God, that sounds so good. Holy
and that's
shit,
probably
Fatty
12.
Just got a chug.
That's probably 1,200 calories right there.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I mean, I never really understood the problem, and because I do
Feel the
know.
bottom of the table move. Just went.
God, Cody's over here jacking off to Oreo milk.
Sweet God.
Because I have an aunt and two cousins that work, especially here in our city. They work for the food distribution center where they make the food. And no, I do.
Why did you say it like that?
Because I was trying not to spit into my microphone. Food distribution there. I had a little spittle. I swallowed before I came, so it's still coming up.
Gross.
But they have to keep it within guidelines. And she said a lot that the food cost has gone down because of all the fresh veggies and fruits. So it really has not affected them. What affects them is the parents that are upset that their kid is no longer getting the extra chips. They're no longer getting the extra stuff.
See, and I don't understand. Why would you be mad about that?
Well, and that's where I think we should, especially in our school district, they have that called a la carte. You can buy canned pop.
Yeah,
you can buy French fries.
yeah.
You can buy that stuff. And she said a lot of parents will send cash with their kid just so their kid could eat French fries. Like, how important
a
is
parent
that?
comes in there. Look, my son Diabito needs his 15 brownies a day. I don't care. And a 40-ounce soda. I mean, yeah, I don't understand why. I mean, because that's at one time food related. That you don't have to be the bad guy.
Right?
The school's a bad guy. Ma'am, look,
That's
if it was
school
up to
rules, my
me,
bad.
you'd have soda and cookies for lunch. But it's not up to me. It's a school.
And
Yeah, I mean, you totally
it's
could.
amazing how many parents are pissed.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, and at first when I saw that, I thought, it's just because it's an Obama thing. That's why Trump's doing
It's
it.
a milk
but
thing.
it's a dairy thing. So also breaking news too.
More puppies are dead.
Shut the fuck up.
2 killed and 40 detained in a new gay purge in Chechnya.
Oh shit!
I told you I don't accept the gays.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I mean that's
Are you going to
just
Chechnya?
worse than South Florida. The new allegations come after reports in 2017 of more than 100 gay men arrested and subjected to torture, some of them killed in the Russian region. This literally is just breaking right now. The Russian Republic of Chechnya has launched a new crackdown on gays, in which at least 2 people have died and about 40 have been detained. The new allegation, I read that already. So this is coming in predominantly Muslim areas of the country.
Oh.
So we might be looking at, more than just. I know they don't like the gays over there either, but
Gay Muslims?
they really don't like the Muslims.
It's like a hybrid.
I know. That's a rare one.
I know.
That's like an Asian little person. Like you don't see that every day. The Associated Press and other media outlets have interviewed some of the victims who spoke about torture at the hands of the Chechnyan law enforcement officers. Chechnyan authorities have detained those accusations, and federal authorities conducted a probe into earlier reports, but said they found nothing to support the charges. So yeah, and it's a breaking story now. So I don't. Yeah, it's fucked up. Is what I never understood why anyone cares. Like honestly, I could care less who's gay, straight.
I don't know.
If you're, like, and I even use that as an argument for one of my friends who is like me, is an atheist, and
I thought you were gonna say gay. I was like,
well, no, and he always says, well, why are people so? You can have gay mayors, you could probably have a gay, congressman, elected officials, but you'll never have an atheist congressman. Yeah. And I said, yeah, but and I agree that should be changed, but gay atheists often. And again, I am an atheist. Well, I'm not an atheist, but yeah, I follow the certain criteria that an atheist does. I wouldn't consider myself one. But oftentimes, atheists try to convert people to be atheists.
yeah.
Gays don't go out there and try to convert people. And that's just like another reason why you shouldn't care.
They have the frogs on their side.
I've never had a gay guy be like, come to my door. Hey, just wondering, do you like pussy or D? Like, I'm married. Have you thought about switching to the D? Let me give you a pamphlet. No, never have I had anyone. So why do people care? Like, it doesn't affect your life at all.
I don't know. So, you guys want to hear a funny little story that really pissed me off the other day?
Sure.
Quick.
Quick? We got
Yeah.
time. So, we're in a restaurant, right? Minding our business, eating our food, and a couple booths back, I can hear these people talking about, they're real proud people, right? Trump all the way, etc., going on about capitalism.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. So they're going on about how, a good country is run off capitalism, et cetera, et cetera. Then they bring up trickle-down effect, okay?
Which I, by the way, would never prescribe to something called that. Like, if I brought that to anyone, any of our listeners, if I came up to you and I was like, hey, I'm just going to trickle this on you.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what it is, they're going to be like, ew, no, I don't want that.
So, they're talking about trickle down and everything. And the way this lady puts it, she's like, well, I think we should all, however she phrased it, develop trickle down effect in our own personal families too, so that we give our kids money so they can figure out what a paycheck's like. And I'm like, that's socialism. Socialism.
That's also stupid.
It is, completely. But she's going on this tangent about capitalism and trickle-down effect.
I mean,
Like, this is how fucking retarded Republicans
allowance has been one of those things that's been around for forever.
But they weren't even talking about for an allowance, just in general. People who did not earn it. Yeah, well, that's what they hate.
You're teaching them socialism.
Exactly.
I don't know. The whole, both sides.
It just
of that
blew my
argument
mind because
really pissed
you
me
can
off.
tell they're
Look at his face. He's
they're
so mad.
super patriots, go America. But then they're like, hey, we should, without saying it, they're like, hey, we should teach our kids about socialism.
Essentially,
Like, this
yeah.
is what you hate, and God, you're so fucking dense.
The thing that annoys me
Right?
is no government has ever been like that has ever succeeded, which we are we're the best at the moment at not completely collapsing,
Yet.
and still being a superpower. But you look back, like the Roman Empire, before that, like the Egyptian Empire, any of the, the Han Dynasty, any of those. None of them have been just like a secular
Yeah.
government, and I don't understand why that's such a hard thing for 30% of our country to wrap their brain around. We're not just capitalists.
No.
We're also social. We have socialist ties to us.
Yeah.
And I don't. It's funny just how quickly they just get consumed by that. Like, no, capitalism's great, socialism bad. But it's like, well, okay. I mean, we have roads, we have
Can I just
infrastructure.
say how awesome it is that you brought that up? I mean, I bet it sucks sitting there.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
this helps me go into this new breaking story. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. Rand Paul. Very stout Republican Rand Paul.
Guy who got beat up by his neighbor.
He was beat up by his neighbor.
Over gnomes.
Yeah.
Well, funny story. It left him with a hernia, some scars, and a few other things. So he just
Broken ribs, too.
Yeah. So Rand
Deformed
Paul
dick.
announced today, well, a couple of hours ago, that due to unforeseen circumstances, he will be traveling to Canada to have surgery to fix his hernia, his ribs, and some facial reconstruction. Please send prayers to Rand Paul.
I thought Canada was bad at it, though.
Well,
Isn't that
according
why
to
we
Rand
don't
Paul,
want their system?
and according to some, and it's becoming more, and it's going to be posted to the Republican site soon. To travel to Canada, because he's not he doesn't live there, he does not declare that home. It's only going to cost him about $1,000 for surgery to fix everything, whereas here in America, hernia surgery is between $10,000 and $15,000.
But you can pay that.
Yes.
You have no. Yeah, the average person can easily pay that. Rand Paul, who's worth millions now.
Easily pay what?
He can't pay that.
He can't pay about.
Easily pay what?
The 10, 15,000.
No, they can't.
I was being facetious.
Yes.
Okay. I was like,
But
That's what
is
I'm
that
saying.
not-
That's why we vote for Rand Paul, who votes against single payer health.
Well, and that is what
that's
is
why
being posted on the Democratic page, is that this is okay for him to do, but when we ask for free health care, it's no, because it doesn't work in any other country, especially a country where Rand Paul himself is now going to.
And I bet you most of that $1,000 is the plane ticket.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I know a couple of my Canadian friends said that when their daughter went in for brain cancer, they had to pay a $6 fine to park their car, and then the hospital ended up paying them back. And they had parked their, don't move my chair, that scared the shit out of me.
Sorry.
They parked their car for 2 weeks, and it was $6. Isn't that weird?
And the medication, they have to pay for the medication.
But how
but
dare
they
you
also,
fly to a country so you can get cheap surgery because you're fucking retarded? Oh, I said it
hard
again.
R.
You guys have both have said it,
Oh.
which is just repugnant on my listening.
Hard R.
No, I agree. But the thing is
At least we haven't brought up midgets.
I think that I said little people too. Jesus Christ. Sometimes I'm like, man, I wonder why I haven't gotten, we haven't picked up and more people don't listen to us.
Because people are
Yes,
retarded and
because we will not.
Because I won't be PC.
Nobody
I
will pick
refuse
us
to.
up. Yeah.
Nothing
But that
pisses
goes
them
in-
off more than we say kick puppies or retard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it does go into a discussion of, if it doesn't affect you, to change your language a little bit. Why not do it if it makes someone feel better?
Says the guy who is kicking puppies.
I'm not. I just enjoy a good dead dog story. I don't do it. I just like watching people's reaction. No, but Neil deGrasse Tyson had this really great argument about why we shouldn't be so hard on Trump and some of these politicians.
Yuck.
And hear me out,
Okay.
because he makes a really good point.
I'm listening.
They were who they said they were.
They are.
It's the people who voted for them.
I mean, you're right. When people say, "Oh, I'm going to get married and marry this person and he's going to change," they're not going to change.
No, never
That
gonna
is who
change.
you met, that's who they will be, and that's who they will stay. You chose to marry a piece of shit. He's still a piece of shit. He'll always be a piece of shit.
The only problem is we're like the kids who didn't have a vote in that.
Exactly.
You know, but yeah, I mean, for.
I mean,
in
it
this,
just
in this
surprises me when
situation,
people are
you-
like, "Trump's mean. Trump's doing." You voted for him.
You can show these people too. You can say, "Hey, look, obviously Rand Paul is for universal health care,
He likes
but he
it.
doesn't think you should have it."
Exactly.
Fake news, didn't happen. Fake news. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're like a religion. They're married to that R, and that's how it's going to be. And they'll never admit, any fault. Speaking of the hard R and all that, and I mean Republican, does anyone know what's going on? Why mass media is freaking out about Trump and Russia?
Trump and Russia.
I mean, everything I've seen today has been new details.
You know, I saw something that he's a Russian agent.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. Like, oh, new details on a deeper look as
I
to
think-
Trump is working for Russia. He's helping Russia, this and that. But like, I've read the articles, and I haven't really seen anything. Like, nothing new anyway.
I
mean-
read one, and it was basically all I gathered from it was upon one of the things that they're, I don't want to say letting loose, but part of this investigation that they're figuring out is that he's a Russian agent. But they kind of said it in a roundabout way.
Yeah,
Like they kind of, I agree with what you said. They kind of said a bunch of stuff we're already aware of or suspected. You know, like I saw some stuff about collusion.
Yeah,
um,
I saw something about that. I
With
saw
the Deutsche Banks.
that some of his public comments are going to be taken into account.
Yeah, how
So, I mean, they should.
I even saw how Russia kind of fudged with the election. Like, it's a bunch of stuff we either knew or suspected, but I don't understand why all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, what if he's a Russian agent? Like, we already...
I mean, I disagree.
I'm not saying he's not.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is either,
Hillary's a
but...
ninja.
I really don't. I actually believe more that Hillary's a ninja than I do Trump's working for Russia.
Obama sneaks around outside your houses at night.
Until he smiles.
Again, I buy that more than I buy Trump being a Russian agent. But
Yeah, he's too stupid.
yeah, he's way too dumb.
You know the guy who cleans your bathrooms late at night or you pee on? That's who Trump is.
What?
Or
What?
you pee on? Like, did you just compare somebody that you pee on to somebody who cleans your bathrooms?
Or are you saying the guy that cleans toilets is a peon? Which, by the way, that's really offensive. Okay, janitors are great people.
They're all right.
I treat my
met
workers
a lot of
differently than you
cranky
treat
janitors.
yours.
Your workers.
My workers.
I-
Cody lets his workers choke him in the shower.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, I didn't know if anyone has heard anything different than I have. Like,
No.
regarding
Not
what I
really.
didn't see anything new.
No, I know.
There's nothing new. I think what's new is that the Republican side is having this breakthrough. Well, not breakthrough, a break up, if you will. That some of the Republicans are thinking that maybe Trump lies. Maybe he's not what they thought he would be. And I think that's why they're saying, well, maybe he is a Russian spy. Where were you a couple of years ago when people were saying that? Where were you?
Yeah,
I don't think it's
that's
news story.
That's a really dumb precipice to go on, to be honest. I mean, because
But,
we've
I
known
mean-
that.
But a lot of the Republican Party has not. And now that there is this split, that because a lot of the Republican Party is upset that maybe Trump is not who he said he was. And I feel
Yeah,
like
I
that's
mean-
why the stories are coming out again. Because I do have a Republican friend who posted, did you know that there's a tent city that was full of children in kennels?
Yeah, no
Yeah,
shit.
we knew that a couple of months ago. Where the fuck have you been?
Yeah,
Like-
that's. Yeah, I don't know. And maybe that's it. Maybe people are just starting to open their eyes to some of the stuff. I don't know. I thought there was legitimately something important.
No.
That
I have not seen anything.
head came out, and
No. Sorry.
apparently not. Apparently they're all just jumping on this for no reason, I guess.
Basically.
which it's not surprising. I will say, kind of an update.
It goes blank.
Sorry, well, you can't show me stuff to read
I
while I'm
know,
in the middle
right?
of talking.
I do. It's who I am as a person.
So we talked about Jamie Kloss last Friday,
Yes.
and an update, just a quick update on that story. The kidnapper, his bail was set at $5 million. And we did report some of this. We didn't know all of it, but he did steal license plates and shaved his head to hide, in order to hide. There's also reports that when he murdered her parents, that the mom hid in a bathtub, where that she was still found by this psycho. There's been no. I mean, they're still working on this story, and there again, I'm glad you were in.
Yeah.
Because I probably wouldn't have talked about it. Because that's what everyone's been talking about all weekend. The two things people have been talking about, and I've seen all over, is the coma patient, which I feel like we're already over because we've talked about it for forever. But like now it's starting to pick up steam.
It's becoming a bigger story.
Yeah, and then the Jamie Kloss story.
I know from our contact that a lot of the stuff going on with the Jamie Kloss story, they're not wanting to release to people yet because of how traumatic things were.
Right.
Not on just her end, but on his end, because his family truly had no clue.
Which is insane. I mean,
It is
that's
very
completely
insane.
But I mean, and if you're, and I just want to just in
No, you're
case you're
fine.
not familiar with it, she was the child that was abducted from her house.
In October.
How old was she?
She was
13?
13.
13 at the time.
Yeah.
Is she
And
14 now?
Yeah.
she's
Oh,
14
okay.
now. And he took her to his house 80 miles away, kept her hidden in the basement.
That's how you gotta do it.
And she's now 14. She escaped, I guess, of he botched.
He
put her in the
something
enclosure.
happened. Like, he did not have the door latched enough, and she escaped. They're still working out what they want to release to the media and not. It's become more of an issue because they don't know how he found her, and it's still
I think they
it's
do.
creepy.
I think they do, but they're not.
They're not wanting to discuss
Yeah.
everything.
And you know what? And part of that, to be honest, thank God, because
Yeah.
how many other creeps like Cody would use that as a way to go kidnap someone? Like,
Wow.
oh, that's how you do it.
God, I've been doing this wrong for years.
I thought it was just to follow him around after school. That's gotten me in so much trouble. This would be way easier. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's some kind of life hack to that they just don't want to share, or it's either that or in kind of what I believe is they don't want to blame her, victim blaming, and should see it all over the media.
What we can say, though, and I'm hoping it gets released this week, is that she did have family come from Virginia, and she will be going home with that family. And Elizabeth Smart has set up an account for her to help her get counseling, and that hopefully in the next few weeks there'll be more to release with the family. But right now, it is just a huge mess. And I mean, I feel for them. It's got to be rough, but at least she was found.
Yeah. At least there's that silver lining, and they got that guy in a form of arrest, and hopefully, who knows what happens to him. I mean, obviously, you got to.
He's gonna be put away for a while at least.
Not death. You kill two people. I mean, yeah, that's often overlooked too. Is he did murder her parents, which is Anyway, that does it for us today. We don't want to pay any more bills, so we're gonna get the hell out of here
Head
before
out.
7. But make sure to tune in Wednesday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. We've got the great comedian Alex Elkin calling in.
I can't wait.
He's just gonna sit in and hang out with us. We're gonna play games. We're gonna discuss some of the current events with him. It's gonna be a great show. So definitely
Unless
don't miss
he
that.
fucks up, and then it'll be amazing.
Then it'll be an even better show. Like, yeah, if he, if he hits the left upright, it's gonna be awesome.
Pull a Parky.
Yeah, but regardless, it's gonna definitely be worth your time to tune in and check us out. And then make sure you're also checking our live stream, or not live stream, but our archives on YouTube. Just
They'll
look
be
up
updated.
Revolution Radio channel. That's the easiest way to find us. And then on Thursdays from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., we are on 24.7 stream. And
Bloop, bloop.
Facebook, obviously, Revolution Radio. Find us there. I am Jay Dillon. I am in detention right now until Wednesday morning.
You're grounded for
I
being
am.
bad.
I'm grounded because I'm a horrible person. But Wednesday morning, you get a hold of me then. Jay Dillon,
Did you get banned from Facebook?
JayDylan.
Nice.
What do you guys got?
I am Tanya Marie Wintello. You can contact me through Facebook, through email. I'm the one that usually answers stuff. Send questions, comments, concerns. Dick pics go to Instagram. I appreciate it all.